Welcome back to the Coconut Wire, your weekly update for the marathon market here in the Middle Keys. I'm your host, Margie Casey of the Brenner, Scheel, and Casey team of Florida Keys Real Estate Group, your real estate experts. Whether you're thinking of buying, selling, or just curious about what's happening in our market, you're in just the right place. Let's get started. Today we're zooming in on the Middle Keys, mile marker 47 to 68, with our latest market snapshot for the week ending July 10th. 2026. These numbers come straight from the MLS data, and we'll compare this week's activity against our 14-week rolling average so you can see the trends. Let's dive in. Homes closed this week were 11 versus a 14-week average of 9. That shows solid closing volume, and we're seeing a little bit more momentum than the recent average. Homes under contract this week at 33 compared to a 14-week average of 36. Buyers are still active, and though the average, it's slightly below our average. Average days on market, 90 days in the past week versus an average of 124 days. That is the big story. Homes selling quicker noticeably than over the past few months. Price reductions, there were only 4 this week over the 14-week average of 9. Fewer sellers are needing to cut their prices, a very healthy sign. Expired listings, there were just 3 this week versus an average of 6. So properties are either selling or they're getting pulled off the market. Homes on for sale, your total inventory this week is 339 versus a 14-week average of 372. So inventory continues to tighten. New listings this week, there were 16 compared to the 14-week average of 12. So we're seeing a healthy flow of fresh inventory hitting the market. What this means for you. Overall, the Middle Keys market is showing positive momentum heading into the second half of the year. We're closing more homes than average. They're selling faster, down about 27% in the last week. Inventory is trending downward, and we're not seeing the same level of price reductions or expirations. That points to a market that feels steadier for motivated sellers and still competitive for buyers who are ready to move. If you're thinking about selling, this is a very good environment because buyers are responding and to well-priced, properly marketed properties, and those are moving quicker. If you're buying, the faster days on market, you need to be prepared and decisive, especially on desirable waterfront and canal front homes that continue to be in demand. A tip for sellers: with fewer price reductions happening, make sure your home is staged and priced right from day one. The data shows the properties that are moving quickest are those that don't chase the market. Pro tip for buyers: inventory is lower than average, so having your financing lined up and being ready to act quickly is more important now than ever. Now let's switch to our deal of the week, and that is a property found on Key Colony Beach at mile marker 53. This adorable oceanfront condo has a white sandy beach, which is a rare amenity to find in Florida. Today we're spotlighting a listing standing out. It's a 2-bedroom, 2.5-bath condo at 601 West Ocean Drive, Unit 312D, in beautiful Key Colony, as I said, listed at $489,000. This property offers incredible value for buyers looking for oceanfront living in the Middle Keys. Let's break down what makes this one so special. Location. Key Colony is often referred to as the gem of the Middle Keys. It's a quiet, upscale community with stunning beaches, excellent fishing, and everything the Keys has to offer. This unit sits directly on the ocean, giving you that Florida Keys waterfront lifestyle without the full price tag of a single-family home. Ocean views here. This condo is steps from the beach. Imagine waking up and watching the sunrise or sunsets, and that is a possibility. Amenities, the properties in the area, amenities that the community has, there's definitely a beautiful pool and a beautiful relaxed environment. This condo is 1,343 square feet. It has a very functional layout for families, couples, or investors looking for a good vacation rental candidate for income. Key Colony Beach is consistently ranked high for buyers and renters who want the Keys experience with modern conveniences. With low inventory in this price range for waterfront condos, this unit stands out as an entry point. Why it's smart to buy right now. Looking at Key Colony Beach market data, we're seeing homes selling faster than average, solid closing volume, and tightening inventory. This condo is a prime location and it is priced perfectly. This entry-level $489,000 condo, you're getting direct oceanfront influence at a price point that's very competitive for the area. It's a low-maintenance lifestyle, so you can enjoy the Keys and instead of working on your yard or repairs on your weekends. It performs well in short-term vacation rentals, especially with the strong tourism that exists in the Middle Keys. Many buyers in this price range look for opportunities to personalize, whether it's updating finishes or simply enjoying the existing setup, which is beautiful. This condo is in a great location. You can walk to restaurants, golf, parks, or you can drive into the city of Marathon or Key West for bigger city amenities and events, which we'll talk about in a minute. In today's market, properties that offer real waterfront access at this price don't last long. So reach out to me, Margie Casey, your host of the Coconut Wire, for an educational tour of this beachfront property at Key Colony Beach or any other you're interested in. Our phone number is 305-783-3395. Now, as we head further into the month of July, just 47 miles south of us, a huge event is kicking off. We're talking about the most legendary celebration in the Keys, Ernest Hemingway Days. Key West tribute to the Nobel Prize winning author who called the island home during his most productive and colorful periods. Ernest Hemingway first arrived in Key West in 1928 with his second wife, Pauline Pfeiffer, which was supposed to be a short stopover that turned into a decade-long love affair with the island. From 1931 to 39, the couple lived in a beautiful Spanish colonial home on Whitehead Street, which is now the Hemingway Museum. This is where Hemingway wrote some of his greatest works, including To Have Not, The Snows of Kilimanjaro, The Short Life of Francis Montgomery, and more. He started his mornings writing in the Carriage House studio and then spent his afternoons drinking a sloppy joes and soaking up the island's character. The house itself is a National Historic Landmark filled with original furnishings, Hemingway's artifacts, and of course the six-toed cats descended from the feline friend Snow White. It's one of the most visited attractions in Key West. Hemingway's Days is an annual celebration held mid to late July, timed around Hemingway's birthday, which is on July 21st. In 2026, this is the 45th annual Hemingway Lookalike Contest taking place along with many other events. That event takes place at Sloppy Joe's Bar. If you haven't seen it, it's such a hoot. So many people running around looking like Papa. There's also the Running of the Bulls, a hilarious Key West twist on the Papillon tradition. Instead of Red Bulls, these participants are on wooden sawhorses on wheels that travel around the street. It's pure fun, chaos, and just hilarious to watch. There's a street fair on Duval with arts, crafts, foods, drinks, live music, and the proceeds benefit local charities. There's also the Key West Marlin Tournament that takes place at the same time, honoring the boat Pilar. Additional events for the month include literary readings, film screenings, a 5K run, and parties, of course, all across the island. The whole festival builds reverence for Hemingway's literacy genius with the irreverent party-loving spirit that defines Key West. Why it matters today, Key West's time in Key West, Hemingway's, has not only shaped his writing, but also the island's identity. The same energy lives on with the local spirit, from the waterfront estates to the historic conch houses to the vibrant community that still draws creative souls. For those of you considering moving to the Keys or investing property here, events like Hemingway Days highlight why the Lower Keys remain magnetic. The lifestyle, the history, and the year-round celebration create incredible demand for Key West and the nearby areas. If you're booking Hemingway Days, better book now if you haven't already. Make sure you stop by the Hemingway House or Sloppy Joe's and get into the moment. That's our dive into the Hemingway Days, a celebration for one of America's greatest writers and the island that inspired him. If you're thinking of buying or renting in the Florida Keys, whether it's a historic home in Key West or a waterfront property in Marathon or Key Colony or anywhere in between, I'd love to help you find your piece of paradise. Thanks for listening to the Coconut Wire. Please be sure to subscribe to have more market updates, lifestyle stories, and local highlights. Until next time, keep living adventurously just like Papa. And be sure to pick up our YouTube channel, Florida Luxury Homes is the name, and Instagram to see live property tours and learn about more of the properties that are available. Like, subscribe, and leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. And until next week, I'm Margie Casey of the Brenner, Scheel, and Casey team. We're not just your realtors. We care about you and your assets. Put us to work for you.